Carly from Teen Mom hasn't seen Caitlin and Tyler, her natural parents, in 2 years. And as an adopted person who grew up in an open adoption, I don't think that's by choice. I grew up in an extremely similar environment to the environment Carly seems to be growing up in. I was adopted by evangelical Christian parents. I grew up going to church every Sunday. My parents were involved in the church. I attended private Christian schools. I have an adoptive brother who's similar in age to me. I have siblings in my family of origin who I didn't really grow up with, similar to the way Carly isn't growing up with Nova and her other siblings. And the similarity we share that everyone seems to be talking about is this closing of an open adoption that we've both experienced. My mom and I went 4 years of our lives without seeing each other, and neither one of us had a say in that decision. Connor has a relationship with his biological mother, although he does not see her frequently. As a toddler and young child, he saw his biological mother at regular intervals. However, from ages 3 to 7, he did not have contact with her, as it was felt he was at a sensitive age where it would be confusing for him. As Connor has developed, contact was reinstated. At present, Connor has not seen his biological mother in 9 months. When asked if he wanted to see her, he expressed a wish for meeting with his biological mother and his adoptive family. When I was Carly's age, I knew what I wanted. I wanted to see my mom more, and despite the fact that my adopters knew that I wanted to see her more, they did not make it a priority to make her a big part of my life. I think in many ways out of fear that she would replace them in my life. My mom and I were allowed to see each other and have a relationship with each other, but our relationship was inhibited by the fact that any correspondence between the two of us had to go through my adopters. Filtering that contact and that relationship through adopters is just scary. I can only imagine my mom thinking that she wants to see me more, wants to have that relationship with me, but being scared that maybe my adopters feel that she's trying to steal me away from them if we get too close. And I remember when I was Carly's age, I was terrified of letting my adopters know how much I loved my mom and how much more I wanted to see her, because I knew they had the keys to just cut her out of my life if they wanted to. When I turned 18, I took these relationships into my own hands. I made it work with both of my families. In fact, both of my moms walked me down the aisle at my wedding. And it brings me so much pain having navigated all those complexities and all of that hurt, seeing Carly grow up pretty much the same way that I grew up. Because despite whatever the internet wants to say about Caitlin and Tyler, Carly has a second family that loves her and wants to be a part of her life. And to see Dawn telling Caitlin and Tyler they're not allowed to send presents to their own child, it just makes me think back to when I was a kid and it was told that it would be too confusing for me to have a relationship with my own family. Man, I wish I could have those years back.